And my feeling is, and the feeling of many other people, is that the pressures of this world de-link us from higher levels of ourselves, and so we become dominated by this information above all else. And who's got control of this information? Our old friends who control the media, the education system, etc., etc. What I feel is happening, and crikey, is it obvious in the letters that I receive every day, is this process of change that's going on as we begin to go into this rebalancing beam of energy, is that this process of resynchronization among those who are open to it is creating the reconnection to oneness, as it's called. All levels of being are entering the perception process, and suddenly, and my goodness, it happened to me in a big way a few years ago. I was going around for a while saying, excuse me, what planet is this? And I get so many letters from people, increasing numbers as the weeks pass, who say, some of them from business people, who say, how come that all my life I've thought this system and that everything was the way to do it, and I've been dominated by growth graphs and shareholders' profits, and then suddenly I can see it as the sham it is. What's happened? Why haven't I seen it before? Very constant thing that I get in letters. The answer is, before, dominated. After, resynchronization with other levels of self. Therefore, perception changes, understanding becomes wider. This process is happening among increasingly large numbers of people. It's not made the national news yet, because it has to be in letters 10 feet high with knobs on before the national news pick it up. But it's growing and growing and growing outside the public arena all the time, and there'll be many people in this audience who will have gone through it, or are going through this process of reawakening and reevaluating our lives and our place in the world. And this resynchronization and this realization of the questions that need to be asked creates a freedom. Certainly has within me. I couldn't recommend it more. It's a freedom from caring less what people think about you, do about you, as long as you can justify what you're doing to yourself. It's a freedom that, to echo Martin Luther King, allows you to say that we are free at last, we've found the ultimate freedom. The freedom to think for ourselves and to live what we believe is right, and not have someone else impose their belief system upon us. It's a freedom that allows you to ignore the ridicule and condemnation and go beyond what is scientifically and politically acceptable, even if people in the short term find it funny. For goodness sake, it's what's politically and scientifically acceptable that is destroying the world. This freedom from thought control and behavior control through fear allows you to set agendas and not wait for agendas to become acceptable. Truth does not become truth only when it becomes acceptable. This world did not become round only at the point where it became acceptable to say it was round. It was always round, even back in the days when you were a loony if you said it was anything but flat. This is a time when we're coming together, both within ourselves and within the world. Coming together to remember who we are, why we're here. A time above all to spread peace and love across the planet in our own lives and out to everyone else. And I don't mean love in the sense that we've come to accept it on earth, which is about I love you if what you do is acceptable to me. It's a love without condition, a love that doesn't seek to possess but seeks to set free. It's the kind of love we have for our children. We don't always like what they do or say. We may quite rightly say so, but we love them just the same. And when I kind of try to expose what's going on in the world, as so many other people are doing, I don't seek to expose the behavior of the manipulators to condemn them as people. They're victims too, controlled by some highly imbalanced consciousness that's working through them. We need to meet this manipulation with unwavering determination. Yes, but not with hatred and aggression to them as people, which just creates twice the hatred and twice the aggression, which is what we're trying to remove from the world. They may think they're in control, but they're not. They're just vehicles of a battle being played out on the levels of consciousness that's just reflecting itself in this physical world. We all have a big decision to make in the world today. Are we going to make a stand against this manipulation and dedicate the rest of this physical life, and it's only one of an infinite number we choose to have, to speed the emergence of love and freedom in this world? Or are we going to shrug our shoulders, have a good laugh, order another beer, switch over the TV channel, and allow ourselves to become another official microchip implanted robot? If we sit down or look the other way, that's what we're voting for, and more important, that's what we're condemning our children to also. As Edmund Burke said, all it takes for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. We are the generations today that are in a point of decision that can allow us to leave our children in nightmare, or be the first generations for goodness knows how long to leave our children a better world than the one we found. We need to open our hearts and our eyes. Through our hearts we can take the spiritual path, projecting love and harmony in the world, but through our eyes we need to be streetwise also to events unfolding around us. If we fuse the streetwise and the spiritual, then it will become an unstoppable tidal wave of change, a change that will reveal the truth about humanity, that we are not evil, we are not stupid, but we can appear to be both sometimes if we fall for the manipulation. And that's a very good point, a positive point that comes out of all this. I keep hearing when I've tried to say we need a better world, we need this, we need the other, we get this thing, you've probably had it too, you'll never get past human nature, mate, that's the problem, not worth it. But hold on a minute, it's documented in very detailed terms how the two world wars in this century were engineered and manipulated into existence. And these other major wars in the world, that wasn't human nature, that was engineered, manipulated human nature. And human nature in its true form is very different to the one we are supposed to accept as the case. This assault on human freedom, such as the criminal justice bill in this country, is not only curbing freedom of those that it appears to be aimed at, people like the homeless and the travellers. It's part of a sequence to suppress all peaceful protest. If they'll take away the freedoms of travellers and the homeless, they'll take away freedoms of anyone when it suits the plan, even those in the leafy lanes of suburbia. As one victim of the Nazis said, first they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. More than anything, I feel we need to let the divisions between us fall away. These phony wars and phony divisions that are created to divide us, because they're not real divisions, they've been manufactured on the classic principle of divide them and then you can rule them. The engineered wars and the divisions of race, of colour, of country, class, income bracket, and all the others we constantly invent. The us and them is precisely the situation that the manipulators want right across society. If we're going to sort this out, the us and them must become we. After all, we're all aspects of the one consciousness. I am you, you are me, I am everyone, and everyone is me. The divisions are just a physical illusion as part of the experience. Those who manipulate are not invincible. The power is their secrecy and public apathy. The secrecy is now being unveiled and the game plan revealed. The public apathy is up to everyone to remove. As Gandhi said towards the end of British rule in India, although the British didn't realize it at the time, 100,000 Englishmen cannot control 300 million Indians if those Indians will not cooperate. And it's time, well past the time surely, when we cease to cooperate with the manipulation that is seeking to imprison us and more than ever imprison our children. And if there's one urgent message to get across to the people of the world today, it is open your eyes and get off your knees. We're on the threshold at this time of incomprehensible change. And when you think of all the wonderful things that happen in the world and in people's lives, and the wonderful people and the wonderful things that people do, even against this background of engineered conflict that I've been talking about, think what the world will be like when all that engineered situation is removed and humanity can express its true glorious self. That's the world that awaits us. And it's nearer than we think. The truth is that humanity is overflowing with love and creativity which it is desperate to express. And in the words of a song by a very enlightened group of young people called East 17, don't you worry because it's all right. Don't you worry, child of light. We are the seed, a brand new breed. We'll succeed, our time has come. We are the new. These words are true. Let the light of love shine through. We shall love the earth and we shall love each other. We shall love those who hate us and we shall love those who love us. We shall not choose between them because all are one and one are all. And that's the truth that's re-emerging in the consciousness of increasing numbers of people on this planet today. We're here to change the world. People are beginning to remember that's why we are here. We chose to come and the time has come to do it. To quote a song from the 60s which summed up this time of great change on the planet and the decisions facing us. There's been a change in the wind and a split in the road. You can do what is right or you can do what you are told, and the prize of the victory will belong to the bold. These are the days of decision. For me, these are the days like never before to be bold. And if I could sum it up in a few words, it is think freedom, live freedom, and we shall be free. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's what we're being offered the chance to do now, to turn the master key called Becoming Conscious that will bring an end to this. It's being given to us, we just need to take it. And to take it, we need to say enough. Enough of being enslaved by these people, enough of being enslaved by our manipulated ignorance, enough of being enslaved by the fear of being who we are. Enough! It is time to fly. It is time to fly. Thank you very much.